A speaker you can drop in the pool without a problem? Let's check this out. Dave Taylor here with my trusty test bowl of water. Why do we have this? Because we're going to try this out. This is the JBL Clip 3 Bluetooth speaker, and they say it is entirely and completely waterproof. How better to test it than to drop it in some water, right? So, before we get there, let me tell you, it has 120 to 20,000 hertz frequency response, sound to noise ratio of greater than 80 decibels, and it's 3.3 watts RMS coming out of this little tiny guy. What's the hook on the top? It's a carabiner. So you can hook it to your backpack, as my son does. You can clip it to your belt, and then you just have tunes. Perfectly handy. Now, obviously, it runs off a battery. It's 1,000 milliamp hour battery that gives you 10 hours of play time, depending on volume. If you have this on maximum possible volume, you will affect your battery life. It's true of any battery powered speaker. It is running only Bluetooth 4.1, but that shouldn't be an issue. You should still get to be at least 20 feet away or 25 feet away with your source before this has any issues. More likely than not, you're going to have like your phone in your pocket and this hanging from your backpack, and it's going to work great. Or you could have this from your bicycle, right? You could have it hanging on the handlebars. That'd be perfect, actually. So, fully waterproof. Well, let's give it some music. And of course, as you would expect from this size speaker, it's not a huge amount of bass. It's definitely a mid-range and high emphasis on the music, but you know, it actually sounds entirely listenable. And ready for the test. Okay, gets a lot quieter when it's in water, right? Let's make sure it's properly and fully in the water. I can still hear it, so let's pull it back out, let it drain off. No negative impact at all. That's pretty nice. Now, what makes this also really nice is you can use this in the shower or in the bath, or as I said, at the pool. You could even have it, you know, tie a little string, tie it to your dock. You could have it at your lake house. Let me pause the music. So you could have it at your lake house, and if it falls off the dock, hey, whatever, you just pull it back up with the string, and you don't even have to let it dry off. It's literally still wet, and it's working just fine. So lots to like. Now here's a really cool hidden feature of this. It also has a microphone. So this can be used as a speakerphone. So you can be on the phone in the shower. How handy is that? Now, really glad it's not a video speakerphone, but that's another story. But it actually works really well as a speakerphone, and it has noise canceling and echo reduction circuitry built into the thing. So you can use this and be listening to music, and you get a phone call, and you just answer it with this, and you're good to go. So now, buttons. On the front, there's pause play, so I can in fact push that button, and we should get the music going again, right? Push it again. That's pause, and then there's a minus and a plus for volume, and push and hold, and it should give you different tracks. I haven't tried that. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Nope, it's just volume. There's a lot of volume there. We're gonna ease back on the volume. So you can't change tracks from this, but so it goes. So you can definitely make it pretty loud. So those are on the front, and then on the side, there are two buttons, one for power, one for Bluetooth. Obviously, you'll only need to use that when you're going into pairing. It's really easy to work with. And then there is a waterproof cover that if you open it up, then you have a 3.5 millimeter, and I actually don't know if that's an in or an out. I will specify that in my notes. I suppose I should know that, but I don't. So it has a 3.5 millimeter jack. My guess is it's an input jack, and it has a micro USB charging connection, and yes, it comes with a micro USB charging cable. Honestly, you probably have tons of those. We have so many in the office that I think we could probably braid them and use them as a car tow, right? But I don't know why we do that. You put it back and you make sure it's sealed, and then you can just leave it back floating in the water, whatever, and it does float. So if it falls into the lake, you can actually fish it back out. That's pretty handy. Now, dimensions. Okay. So it is 5.4 inches, including the carabiner, and 3.8 inches across, and it is a modest 1.8 inches thick and 7.8 ounces. So those are all the key dimensions. And in terms of the sound quality, you know, it's a little speaker. Little speakers don't have the same sound that big speakers have. Now, yes, you can have like earbuds and stuff that give you amazing sound, but that's a different sort of sound reproduction technology. That's one where it's so in your ear that it doesn't need to have volume, so it can focus on clarity and precision. This doesn't have that option. So the sound is okay. It's as good as you get basically for this size speaker. So they sound good. This is definitely a good party speaker. If you want to use this on the boat and if it flies out, whatever, or you want to use this in the shower, it definitely gives you the ability to have sing along in the shower. How awesome is that? But this is not a substitute for a big multi-speaker sound system with a subwoofer and, you know, woofers that are like titanium or Kevlar or something, right? So it is not in that category. This is much more about an active lifestyle and being able to take your tunes with you on the go. And it does a great job with that. This would be perfect for example, listening to a podcast while you're on your bike ride. So there's a lot to like about this. Comes in an insane 12 different colors, including 2 different camos. And their regular camo, they have a black and white camo, but they have a more traditional browns and greens. Fantastic looking. I wish this was camo, but it's red. So 12 different color combinations. Now, before I get to the price, let me ask if you can subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and click or tap on that little subscribe button. Super helpful. And I really appreciate when you subscribe. I'm really honest and straightforward in my reviews. And, you know, I get a lot of gear and I post a lot of reviews. So definitely subscribe and let's stay in touch. Great. Now, this is the JBL Clip 3 Bluetooth speaker, completely waterproof IPX7, 12 different colors. It's $49.95 at Amazon.com or JBL.com. So definitely a fun one to add to your summer adventures, whether you want to use this in the shower or whether you want to use this while you're on a canoe. So I'm a big fan. I have a feeling my son's going to take this and use this instead. That's all right, because we are going to stick with our, see what I did there? Stick with our clippy JBL Clip 3. That's all I got. I'll catch you in my next video.